Hello, everyone, and welcome. David J Coon with Qigong Awareness, and that's our company, Qigong Awareness LLC, if you didn't know. And the author of Qigong for Beginners, Your Path to Greater Health and Vitality. I know some of you, if you've watched that before, like 100 times, it gets tiring, but I'm only on episode number 8, so don't get tired out just yet. Welcome to episode number 8. You don't have to go back and watch the previous episodes if you don't desire, but I am doing this in a progression to give those of you who've never met me before, or even those of you who have met me, a little bit of a step-by-step progression to make a change in your life. Now, my experience, okay, my background, first of all, spinal disease, panic disorder, all these different kinds of problems, emotional stress, and so on when I was younger. Go back, 37, almost 40 years ago, okay? But jumping ahead, okay? Psychology degree, molecular cellular biology training, EMT, medical Qigong master, Qigong instructor, martial arts Kyosanin master in Taekwondo, sensei, black belt in karate, 2 different styles of karate, etc., etc. Okay, so I changed my life. How did I do it? I obviously did not sit around and just do nothing. Okay, I did a lot of things, and I didn't just sort of put it all out to a God outside of me, seemingly, or something, and just give it up to that. Okay, although sometimes I find myself in deep prayer and deep mantra and deep meditation. We'll get into that because you're always talking to the universe, you're always talking to existence, and I get into that in great detail in my book, and I highly recommend it. All right, but where do we start? Okay, where do we start? So I want to give you an idea. Some of you know that I'm a teacher. I teach seminars and classes, workshops, online workshops, have a Qigong instructor certification program, medical Qigong practitioner, have people travel in from other states and so on and so forth, even sometimes another country to come receive healing work from me. We have a distance healing program. I'm literally treating people around the world. How the heck does that work? We'll save that for another episode. I wanted to start off with, if you have a copy of the book, you've already seen this. Please take the time, actually, whether you're new and you're just reading the book or you've read it before, take the time to actually check out the testimonial section in the beginning because these are real stories from real people and they give you an idea of what is possible. So I'm going to go ahead and read, I believe it's the second, yes, it's the third testimonial in the book. I want to read it to you briefly, give you an idea. We're going to use that as a segue into what it is that we're going to do next here. So this is from Melissa. Melissa says, I've been training with David for almost a year now. When David moved to Wilmington, North Carolina, I had been practicing Qigong sporadically for a month or so with an instructor who was in David's certification program. Those of you who know him, his name's Leon. All right. Qigong seemed cool, but I had not had any previous experience with energy work and was admittedly skeptical. However, I had had breast cancer 3 times and was fed up with the options that Western medicine offered. I was overwhelmed with side effects and took a handful of pills a couple of times a day. When the cancer returned the 3rd time, I was medically retired from the Army and my physical condition has deteriorated from being very physically fit to barely being able to walk a mile. All right? Your story may be different than that story, but a lot of people have struggle, whatever kind of struggle they have in their life, okay? This is a year later or so. Okay, so Melissa had just been working with me at that time for a year. Those of you who know Melissa, she is now a full level 5 certified Qigong and medical Qigong practitioner in our program, Qigong Awareness Program. Here is the rest of what she has to say in her testimonial. She says, in the past year, I have trained with David in Qigong classes, intensives, and private sessions, as well as participating in his healing clinics. Since beginning training, I've been able to stop taking 7 different prescription medications, lost 20 pounds, can run 5 miles, and am a certified level 1 Qigong instructor. The difference in my physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being has been phenomenal. David is an amazing healer, instructor, and coach. My story for the past 8 years has been a story of cancer. Thanks to David, my story is now a story of healing, health, and prosperity. Not only that, Melissa went on, as I said, over the next few years to get her full level 5 certified instructor training, medical Qigong practitioner certificate and also her certified Qigong instructor certificate from Qigong Awareness. She also came off of all of those medications only down to one tiny dose of a high blood pressure medication. Two of those medications were intravenous chemotherapy drugs. She came off of those. Okay, the list goes on. There's a lot of other testimonials in here. We're going to leave it at that for today. That's one of my recent success stories in the past 5 years. But again, I just shared some other ones with you in the last few episodes. Anyway, wherever you are in the process, if you want to change, if you want to transform, it's not going to just be because of Qigong. It's not going to be just because you found a new magic trick on the block. That's what I want to talk to you about. To me, there's Qigong and then there's my Qigong. My Qigong, I'm not going to say it's the best Qigong. I'm not going to say it's better than everybody else's Qigong and that my master is better than your master, okay? I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to say these are the things that have worked for me. And a lot of people, there's pictures of myself in the book, for example, and one, I might be flexing my musculature in one of the pictures, right, in the beginning of the book, and I am, okay? And people will say to me, they contact me on YouTube or something, they'll say, you didn't get that kind of body by just training Qigong. No, you're right. I have black belts in other martial arts. I've worked my ass off physically to get the kind of physical body and the kind of development that I have. But check this out. Why am I not teaching physical fitness? I used to teach physical fitness when I was 21, and I do still teach martial arts to some degree. But my full-time project is all of this stuff. And why? Why is it my full-time project? There's a couple fitness videos on my YouTube program, but why am I not just showing off my body? And why am I not just showing how muscular, my musculature, or how strong I am, or whatever the thing is? Why am I not doing that? Because I have a deeper mission. It's called the mission of the soul. I like helping babies who have holes in their heart heal, and nobody else seemingly knows how to do it. I like being able to help somebody like Melissa, who I meet, who's struggling and with certain things, and she doesn't have the greatest options. I like being able to bring new options to that person, help lift them up, because we're not all going to be strong forever. I wasn't strong in the beginning. I got strong. That's the only reason I even flex my musculature, show what's going on there, because I did reclaim my body. I did reclaim my strength. I did reclaim my power. And without Qigong, I couldn't have done it. So martial arts and other disciplines like that, especially martial arts, super important to me, super big, huge part of my life. But that's not my passion to teach that to everybody. I teach it to a few people here and there along the way. It's my passion to teach Qigong to everyone. Why? Because martial arts can't be accessed by everyone. It just can't. And also, there are practices within martial art that would help you immensely. But in order to experience them, you actually have to go to your local dojo, your local dojang, your local temple, and you've got to get your ass kicked. Okay, pardon my French, but you got to go in and you got to get your ass kicked physically. And you know what? Some of you have already had your ass kicked in many other ways. You don't need to go into a school and have to put on boxing gloves and go fight with someone else to get this magical chi experience out of it, okay? It's one of the things that it is what it is, but it just makes martial arts not accessible for a lot of people. Qigong is accessible by everyone, okay? Everyone can access these Qigong practices. And these Qigong practices will challenge you. I just trained somebody the other day here outside my office. They traveled in to see me from Colorado. You know who you are if you're listening. And I was teaching him breath of fire, okay, in the parking lot. And we're walking around, we're doing breath of fire, and he's breathing and he's breathing and he's breathing. And he said to me, I'm getting a similar experience to like when I run. He said, it's really interesting, like I'm getting a cramp. And I said, exactly. Qigong practices can help you access, if you've ever heard, for example, of like runner's high. Runner's high is a phenomenal experience. I've felt it. I've experienced it. It's fantastic. It's ecstatic, right? But you have to do so much hard work in general to get to that place. You've got to run 13 miles. You've got to run 18 miles. Then you get a runner's high. Well, a lot of people can't run 18 miles. And even if you used to run 18 miles, you may not be able to do it anymore. So Qigong gives us access to those kinds of practices. And because I have been and am a martial art teacher, and I am a life coach, a coach of life, in other words, okay? And I am a Qigong master, and I have within certain disciplines where my martial arts teacher says to me, my grandmaster says to me, you're now a master of this martial art. You're now a master, okay? This idea of mastery is very important to me. But as I've said in previous episodes, I don't want to be your master. I don't want you to bow to me. I don't want you to bow down or any of these other kinds of things. I'd like to help you, teach you how to become your own master, which means mastering your breath, mastering your speech, mastering how you walk, mastering how you stand. For some of you, you'll train with me on the side. I'll teach you martial arts. Most of you will train with me in a Qigong fashion where you're practicing Qigong and movement and breath. Come visit me on a Thursday afternoon and come train with us at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. East Coast time, where people around the country are actually joining. We're all practicing Qigong together, and we're practicing breath of fire together, and we're practicing how to stand and how to move the body. Anyway, there's all these different ways to access it, right? Come to a live workshop, watch some of the online courses. But look, there is a whole discipline here. It's not like just, hey, try this on for size, and it's like the new woo-woo thing, and it's going to like make your life better or whatever. It's a bunch of crap. Unless you dive in and you do something. Like first, of course, you got to try it on for size. If you don't like it, you don't like the flavor of what I do, obviously keep moving on, right? Find something that you like. Find a flavor that you like. If you go try Kung Fu and you don't like Kung Fu, well, go try karate. If you don't like karate, go try mixed martial arts. You don't like mixed martial arts, maybe just do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That would be an idea within martial arts. But within these kinds of practices, again, martial arts, Qigong, meditation, mindfulness practices like Buddhism and Zen Buddhism, they give us practices that we can do, and we can do them over and over and over and over again. And like Bruce Lee's martial art of J Coon, for example, I'm not limited, and I try not to limit you in a particular style or a particular way. We just call what I do Qigong. We call it medical Qigong. And then we have 1,000 different practices to give you, 1,000 different practices to share with you, 1,000 different practices to help you master, so that you can master yourself and master your breath and master your mind and master your mood and master your emotions and master your stress, and a little stutter there. My mouth's getting a little dry. But master your parasympathetic nervous system. Master your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight. Learn how to start to change your state. Learn how to use, as I talk about in my book, power speaking and power walking and power talking and power thinking, and the power of intention over your body. That's what these practices are about. Okay, so we're not going to dabble. We're going to use a way, but within that way that we're calling Qigong, in general, the idea of skilled cultivation of universal life force, but I'm expanding upon that idea. It's the idea that as some of my teachers and my masters have said to me, every single thing you do in your life is either going to add to your energy system or take away from it. We talked about this in some of the previous episodes. This is in the beginning of my book. Every single thing you do is going to add to your energy system or take away from your energy system. So it would be very silly to go practice Qigong and do your Qigong work on a Sunday or on a Thursday or whatever, and do this breathing and cleanse yourself and go to the woods and purify and purge, and then walk out of that experience, get back in your car like many people do when they're leaving church on Sundays. They go in there, they do their prayer, they do their communion, they do all of this stuff, and then they leave church and they're cursing at people getting on the highway because they can't get out onto the road quick enough, right? And they're trying to go off to lunch or wherever they're going, and they've forgotten their practice of mindfulness. They haven't taken it with them, okay? So in order to do this, in order to change this, you have to change your habits. There's an old saying, be careful of who you hang out with because you might just become like them, okay? When I used to hang out with certain people, I didn't necessarily like those people, but if I look at what I was doing at the time in my life, what I was doing attracted those kinds of people. So I changed what I was doing, And I changed the kinds of things that I was doing on a Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, whatever the thing is, and I'm practicing Qigong instead of going to the local bar, for example. And now it's changing the kinds of people and the quality of people that I'm meeting. So I welcome you to our Qigong community. You have access to Facebook page, people communicating back and forth. Come to a seminar, meet some people who are coming from here, there, or wherever they are. Come meet with us on Thursday. Come practice, read the book, join some of the other people in our online or in our in-person community, and meet some new people, meet some new friends, do something new, do something different, and learn how to master the one thing that you can master in your life, which is yourself. Everything else, good luck. You're not going to be able, it's going to be very difficult to master. Even if you master carpentry, that's mastering yourself, because in order to master carpentry, you would have to master your focus, you would have to master the hammering of the nail, etc. So master these things, master your breath, master your mood. Check out the book. Master your ability to be still, breathe, check in with inner being. I don't even know you, and I love you. I want to help you. So stay tuned. I sincerely hope this was helpful today. Thank you for tuning in.